Task 1. Listen to the text and for each question mark the correct answer A, B, C or D. You now have 40 seconds to look through the task. You will then hear the recording twice.
Let's welcome our first guest this evening, Milo Chan. Milo writes for a travel website that has become hugely popular in the last few years. I'm sure you all know the one I mean. Milo, I have a lot of questions for you tonight, but first, can you tell us a bit about what you do? Thanks for the great welcome. Well, my job is a little different from most travel writers. I guess when most people think of that job, they imagine an exciting life, travelling around the world and eating in fancy restaurants. I suppose they think of exploring new places in foreign countries that tourists usually go to. My job is pretty much the opposite of that. I was born in the UK, and what I focus on is amazing places near my home that nobody has ever heard of. And why do you think your website has been so successful? The places we choose to write about could be one possible reason, but the thing we get the most positive comments on is the fact that we include so much more detail in our articles than traditional travel sites. Whether we're writing about food, places, or events, we never forget to tell the story behind it, the history and the culture. The only way that you can get that kind of information is by talking to local people. So, however well I know the area, I do a lot of interviews before I write anything. What is a place that you'd recommend to everyone? I don't think all tourists should visit any one place in particular. It's only my personal opinion. But I think too many people just follow the crowds when they're on holiday and don't do enough research to find things they will really enjoy. If you're in London, why go to Buckingham Palace if you don't care about the royal family? Maybe you're into modern architecture, or nature walks, or haunted houses. Use our website to find some inspiration. Are you writing about anywhere interesting at the moment? Of course, it's actually a place that you have read about, but you might not know it. It's near the home of one of our most famous writers, J.R.R. Tolkien, who was probably inspired by it when he wrote the Lord of the Rings books. It's called Puzzlewood, and it's this deep, dark wood full of surprising caves. These days, it has a cafe and children's play area, but it's still a magical place. And is there anywhere in the world you personally want to visit? There are hundreds. Top of my list is a remarkable place in Peru that needs more visitors. It's called the Gran Pajaten, and it's deep in the cloud forests. In the 1960s, local people discovered ancient Incan buildings there among the trees. They're covered in art, showing people, animals, and birds, and the place is very special. Some of the buildings date back to 200 BC. Unfortunately, because not enough tourists go there, there's no money to protect it, and the buildings are falling down. It probably won't be there much longer. Well, Milo, I hope you can get there soon. Finally, what's one thing you always take with you when you travel? I'd love to give you a helpful tip here and say I always take a printed map of the local area, or something romantic, like I never travel anywhere without the backpack I've had since my student days. But the one thing I couldn't live without when I travel is technology, of course. So I always take all my devices and my charger cable. If you're a writer these days, you're lost without those.